My name is Anthony Paredes, and this video is a reflection of my soft skills journey. And to start us off with personal effectiveness, I learned a lot about dress codes and knowing how to dress in different situations. I thought that was extremely useful to know, and I'll bring that with me in the future. And knowing how to use your personal energy and make people feel good with the smile or a compliment, it could be highly useful. And knowing how to groom yourself, knowing how to dress accordingly, have it tailored to make you look good, I think could be a standout, and I'm glad that I learned about it. And then there's a character, which I was a big fan of because especially as someone in business, you want to have someone who has great character, and knowing you can do a deal with someone who has high integrity and is punctual and has all those things to make a great person. It'll be easy to do a business deal with them. So I learned a lot how to pinpoint my weaknesses and grow from them through that module. Excuse me. And as far as conscientiousness, I learned about work ethic, which was a huge favorite of mine as far as knowing how to scale and grow your work ethic to work longer and harder. That's something that I'll definitely put into use and that I can use in the future for sure. And as far as a growth mindset, knowing how to start something without necessarily wanting to, and knowing that you can be comfortable trying something new is something that opened my mind to know that you can just learn something instead of just not doing anything. You can learn something. You can learn something today, any day, every day. And that also expanded my mind. Excuse me. As far as work-life balance, I thought it was extremely interesting to reflect on time management spark and discover how many hours were wasted. And it gets me kind of excited to potentially know that I can further my career or learn more things with those hours, and hopefully I can put them into proper use. And then there was a communication. I really love this part because I learned how to listen, and I'm someone who loves to listen as well. But I learned how to do it in a deeper level, and I really enjoyed becoming better at that. As far as body language or being more concise, I think that was extremely interesting, and I'm very glad that it was something that I learned as well. And as far as self-marketing, I thought it was extremely interesting also to learn how to sell yourself in a short amount of time to make something that's a bit comprehensive and compact it into something that can be easily understood. And if you meet the right person at the right time, it could be extremely beneficial for you. So that was an extremely important lesson to learn. And then back to body language, I was also, it was interesting to know that there's different little nuances to different faces. Like for example, I confuse anger and disgust a bit. And that's something I need to work on and learn how to get better at reading body language, or know how to put it into use so like the arms akimbo, I can use that to display a power or convey confidence. It could be an extremely important tool as well. And as far as communication through technology, you want to have good email etiquette. And I learned that if you aren't proper and show respect through an email, then how can you respectfully be in a business deal as well? If you are making mistakes in the email, then why would someone want to do business with you when you can't even be professional in the email? That should be the easiest part. And I learned a lot about that as well. And as far as business relationships, I learned a lot about networking as well. And same with the growth module, it opened my mind to know that you can just reach out to people and and look up people that are in your field. And I learned that it's gonna take more than just one DM on Instagram or LinkedIn to get to know someone. It's gonna take a lot of effort to reach out, so to speak. But to open your mind and know I, that I'm capable of doing such a thing was highly impactful. And as far as job search, I recently did my resume and cover letter, so there isn't necessarily anything new to me. I learned most of it already. Excuse me, and I put it to use, and I know how to tailor it to different job offerings. So that was a useful module, but I had already know most of the material already. And I'm big on the working with others module as well. But I think giving and receiving criticism are kind of the same thing, only because they both involve objectivity and finesse. But I think what helped me realize that I need to improve on this is to control your ego. I think is a big part of it, and knowing that you have to observe over feel and objectively look at something if it's true or not, and do it with finesse. You don't want to be overly aggressive, so to speak. And then as far as meeting my action plan goals, I'm currently looking for my own place, maybe looking through some specific neighborhoods. I might consider moving through the state to a different state, but I haven't decided yet. And so it's on the way, but not quite there. And so I haven't been managing my time wisely or as well as I would have. So I haven't necessarily made any money from my business, but in the summer, I plan on starting on launching my business and going full gung ho into achieving my goal of making 50K by the end of the year. And as far as my GPA, I'm very close, or no, I'm very close. I'm at a 3.5 GPA currently. So and I'm pushing for a 4.0. So hopefully I can push and get to my goal. And how the action plan has helped me achieve my goals. The work ethic module specifically was very transformative. And like I said, I learned a lot, and knowing how to work for hours and be patient is something that it's an invaluable skill that it'll help me in whatever excuse me, in whatever profession or business idea I would like to get into. And then the biggest takeaways from the course is that I learned so much and became a better human being because of the little details that people might miss, but that mean everything in the context of what it is to be a human being. And I thank you, Professor, for going into that detail. And I really enjoy when someone goes into that specific, um, into the specifics of what works and what doesn't work. That's where the real learning is done. And the action plan assessment has made me really question a lot of things about myself. And I'll definitely use it in the future when I want to improve or work on things on myself that I don't like at the moment. Thank you.